Cade Rowan never planned to be part of anything bigger than a broken coolant pump. His life was simple: repair his old freighter, fly cheap cargo routes, avoid attention, and keep his name far away from alien politics. He had inherited his ship, the Dawnstar, from a distant uncle, whose only instructions were, "Take care of her, she'll take care of you." Cade wasn't convinced of that last part. The Dawnstar ate fuel like a starving dragon, overheated when sneezed on, and moaned like an old man when docking. But it was home. He arrived at Aurelian Station, expecting nothing more complicated than buying replacement parts and a sandwich. What he didn't expect was having the Empress of the Kailari Dominion pour wine on his chest. He didn't expect her to drag him across the station. He definitely didn't expect to learn he owned the ship carrying the most important political document in existence. And he absolutely never expected that the treaty was missing. Everything began with a splash. Cade rounded a corner in the station's central bazaar and collided with a cloaked figure. Something cold and expensive smelling soaked into his shirt. He sputtered. Watch where the cloaked figure froze. Her hands trembled as she stared at the shattered wineglass between them. "Oh no, 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 no," she whispered. Cade sighed. "It's fine. It's just a drink." The woman's violet eyes snapped up. They glowed like living crystals. "Not fine," she hissed. "I cannot be seen. I cannot be delayed. And now I've drenched the owner of the—" She clamped her mouth shut, grabbed Cade by the wrist, and yanked him into a maintenance corridor so fast he barely had time to protest. "Well, hey lady, I don't know who you—" She pulled down her hood. Cade's jaw dropped. Yes," she groaned. "Empress Lyrissa Kailaris. Please lower your voice." Cade blinked. "You poured wine on me. An accident I deeply regret." She paced, panic tightening her graceful features. "The treaty has vanished. Someone stole it. And if it's not presented at the Unity Summit tonight, entire civilizations will burn. War will reignite. Billions will die. And now, I'm delayed because I'm cleaning red wine off a human." Cade raised a hand. "Slow down." "What treaty?" Lyrissa inhaled sharply. "The Galactic Unity Treaty. A crystalline matrix carrying the signatures of 37 empires. It was shipped ahead of me, to ensure safe arrival." "Well," Cade said, trying humor, "I'm sure whoever carried it did a good job." She shot him a dead look. The vessel that carried it was a long-haul human freighter. Registry code, DS49N. Cade froze. "Say that again." DS4-9-N. He slapped his forehead. "That's the Lyrissa stared. "And who," she said quietly, "owns this?" Cade raised a guilty hand. Surprise. Her eye twitched like she was reconsidering every spiritual belief she'd ever had. "You mean, a grease-covered human mechanic are the custodian of the galaxy's most important artifact?" "I didn't know," Cade protested. "Shipping corporations dump random crates on me all the time." Lyrissa rubbed her temples. "We are all going to die." They sprinted to Dock 12. Rixa stopped dead when the Dawnstar came into view. This ancient, rusted-in, disease-ridden corpse of a vessel carried the treaty. "It has good bones," Cade muttered. "It looks like it has tetanus." They rushed inside. The ship's tired AI chimed awake. "Welcome back, Cade. Welcome, unidentified Imperial royalty." Lyrissa stiffened. "Your ship recognizes me." Cade coughed. "I might have installed a gossip. Don't judge me." "The gossip subroutine judges you," the AI added. "Not helping," Cade snapped. "Show us yesterday's shipment," Lyrissa commanded. "Cargo Bay 3, the AI said, "but you will not like what you find." Ran. The crate that should have housed the treaty lay cracked. Opened deliberately, carefully. Opened by someone who knew exactly what they were doing. Lyrix's breath caught. "No. Stars. No." Cade crouched to inspect it. "There's no sign of forced entry. Whoever opened this used a Dominion override key." A slow clap echoed from the corner. "Well reasoned." For a human, Cade and Lyrissa spun. General Sereth stepped from the shadows, tall, scaled eyes like molten gold. Former advisor to the Empress, current traitor Sereth. Lyrissa snarled. You stole the treaty." "Of course I did," he said coolly. "Unity weakens us. Peace chains us. A return to war will make the Dominion mighty again." Cade rolled his eyes. "And you stole it from my ship." "Seriously, I had to clean this bay last week," Sereth sneered. "You hide behind a human, Empress. How far you've fallen." Lyrissa stepped forward, fury burning. "Where is it?" "On its way to a neutral barge," Sereth replied, "where it will be destroyed. The summit will fail, and the galaxy will fracture." He drew a plasma dagger. "And I cannot allow either of you to interfere." Cade swallowed. Lyrixa, any ideas? Yes, she said. Run. They ran. Sereth lunged. Energy crackled. Cade dove behind crates while Lyrixa ignited a shimmering shield of Kylari energy. Your Highness, Cade yelled. We're in my ship, use something. She scanned the bay. What the? Cade pointed at a forklift drone. Lyrixa grabbed it telekinetically and hurled it like a battering ram. It smashed into Sereth, knocking him back. He roared, scales flashing with fury. Lyrixa grabbed Cade's hand. To the bridge. They sprinted, Sereth's footsteps and furious snarls echoing behind them. The moment the bridge doors sealed, Cade gasped, we can take off. Chase him. Get the treaty back. Lyrixa shook her head. He'll jam us, and the station will lock you down. Cade grinned. Not if they don't know we're leaving. What does that mean? It means, he said, flipping switches. I've illegally modified my transponder, so often the station thinks I'm 12 different ships. Her jaw dropped. Humans are horrifying. Thank you. The Dawnstar roared to life. Sereth slammed into the bridge door. Cade, Lyrixa warned. I know. He punched the throttle. The ship tore free of the docking clamps. Alarms blaring. Aurelian patrol fighters launched in pursuit. Sereth will have sent coordinates ahead, Lyrixa said. He's taken the treaty to destroy it. Then we get there first. How? His shuttle is twice as fast. Cade smirked. Not with what I'm about to do. He slapped a button. The Dawnstar groaned. Lights flickering. Lyrixa grabbed a railing. What is this? Illegal hype? He yelled over the rumbling. Very unsafe. Possibly suicidal. But fast. Possibly suicidal. The ship rocketed forward like it had been fired from a cannon. Lyrixa screamed. Cade screamed. Even the AI screamed. When they dropped out of hyperbur, Lyrixa staggered to her feet, pale and shaken. I have never, she whispered, experienced such violence. You get used to it. I will not. They arrived at the coordinates and found Sereth's barge done. Plasma charges primed to incinerate the treaty. Lyrix's blood turned cold. He's already started the destruction sequence. Then we go in, Cade said. We get it. We get out. Lyrixa looked at him, really looked at him. Grease-stained, human, vulnerable, but fearless. You're not a soldier, she said softly. No. I'm a guy whose ship got dragged into a war, and I'm not letting the galaxy burn because someone stole mail from my cargo bay. Lyrix's throat tightened. Before she could answer, the barge's guns activated. Cade pulled her behind a console. Okay, new plan. You fight, I fix you. Fixed. He pointed at the barge's exposed power lines. This thing's a mess. I can override half its systems with a wrench and some chewing gum. Humans, Lyrixa murmured, are deeply alarming. Together, they boarded the barge. Sereth waited inside, holding the crystalline treaty over a glowing incinerator. You're too late. No, Lyrixa whispered. Not again. Cade stepped forward. Hey, lizard face. Sereth turned Cade through a wrench, right at Sereth's head. It cracked against the general's skull. Sereth staggered. Lyrixa surged forward, unleashing a blast of imperial energy that knocked him across the chamber. The treaty slipped from his hands. Cade, dove, caught it, rolled dot, smashed into a crate. OW, he wheezed. My everything. Lyrixa raced to him. Are you hurt? He held up the crystalline slab. Got it. Her eyes softened with wonder and something else. You saved it. You asked, he said. Sereth roared. Charging, Lyrixa spun, unleashing a force wave that sent him crashing into the incinerator chamber just as Cade slammed the emergency hatch, locking him inside. A moment later, backup warriors stormed the barge and secured the traitor. Lyrixa stood before Cade, exhausted, shaking, relieved. You risked your life for something you didn't even know existed. Well, Cade said, leaning against a wall, someone poured wine on me and dragged me into this mess. Lyrixa laughed a real, soft laugh. It seems, she said, I owe you a great debt. You can repay me, Cade said, by never using my ship for government cargo again. Agreed. She stepped closer. And perhaps, dinner. Cade blinked. Wait, like a date? A human saved my galaxy today, she said quietly. I would very much like to know him better. Cade smiled. Yeah, I'd like that too. That night, at the Unity Summit, Lyrixa presented the treaty. Glowing whole dot, she spoke of unity, trust, and the unexpected courage of a single human. Cade watched from the balcony, bruised, exhausted, still smelling faintly of wine. When Lyrixa emerged from the ceremony, she walked straight to him, ignoring diplomats, and Admiral Zan took his hand in hers. You are no longer just the owner of a rundown human ship, she whispered. No, you are the man who saved peace. Cade chuckled. All because you spilled wine on me. Lyrixa smiled. Then, she said, I am very glad I did.